Welcome back to Talk Tensors. Today we're going to be looking at a paper called Creating New Games with Generative Interactive Videos.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really interesting, it's about using AI to
Build games.
build games and not just, play them, which we've seen before.
Right.
Yeah, so this is a pretty big leap forward.
Yeah, it is. And this is something that really caught my eye was that it can create truly new games.
Really?
Not just replicating, existing games or mimicking human gameplay.
Wow.
It's really, really cool.
So this is like AI becoming the game designer.
Yeah, pretty much. They call it GameFactory, and it uses these things called pre-trained video diffusion models.
Okay.
You might have heard of those. They're like the AI tools that generate images from text.
Oh, yeah, like DALL-E and stuff.
Exactly. But instead of just a static image, this is an interactive video game.
Whoa.
Pretty cool, right?
Very cool. Very cool. So it's like the AI is dreaming up these worlds.
Yeah, I like that.
But then how does it actually learn to make them playable?
So for that, they used a data set derived from Minecraft, and they trained GameFactory on it. But it's not just like recording players playing.
Okay.
They actually programmatically control an agent within Minecraft.
What? So
They made sure it performed a wide range of actions.
like a bot.
Yeah, basically. Even really rare ones, stuff humans wouldn't normally do.
Oh, so instead of just mimicking how people play, they're giving it a more complete set of actions it could potentially take.
Yeah, exactly. And that's important because it helps overcome that bias problem that can crop up in AI training.
Oh, right.
If you only train on human data, the AI might miss out on unusual moves or strategies.
Right.
So you make sure that the AI isn't limited.
By human styles of playing.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. So they've got it imagining these worlds and they've given it all these actions.
Yep.
But how do those two things actually connect? How does the player's input get turned into what happens in the game?
They use this thing called an action control module.
Yeah.
Which is a neural network that basically translates keyboard presses and mouse movements into actions in the game world.
Oh, so that's how it knows that
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
when I press W, the character moves forward.
It's actually way more sophisticated than that. Continuous actions, like mouse movements, are handled differently than discrete actions like pressing a key.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it really allows for nuanced control.
So it's not just reacting to buttons. It's actually interpreting player input.
Got it.
Wow, that's impressive.
And there's more. They even use a sliding window approach.
Okay, what's that?
So basically, the AI considers the delayed effects of actions over multiple frames.
What do you mean?
If you think about jumping, it doesn't just affect one moment in the game.
Oh, right.
There's momentum.
Yeah.
It affects your character's movement afterwards, too. So this makes it much more smooth and realistic.
It's amazing, all the small details that they're considering. Yeah, but I'm still kind of stuck on this one thing.
What's that?
If they trained it all on Minecraft, wouldn't all the games just look like Minecraft?
I know, right? Who wants their sci-fi shooter to have blocky trees?
Totally.
They call that the style bleeding problem.
Okay.
And their solution is super clever, a multi-phase training strategy.
Yeah, phase training.
Yeah, so first, they adapt the AI to the desired visual style using something called LoRA.
LoRA, what is that?
Low-rank adaptation. It's like giving the AI a crash course in a new artistic language.
Oh, so it can output different
So it can generate visuals that match the target style.
styles. Okay.
Exactly.
So if they wanted a super realistic war game, they'd use LoRA
To move away from the blocky Minecraft aesthetic and towards photorealism.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, teaching the AI to paint in different styles.
Right.
But then, get this, in the second phase, they freeze all those visual parameters and focus only on training the action control module.
Wait, so they're training the controls separately from the visuals?
Yep.
Why do they do that?
So the action control doesn't get too tied to a specific look.
Ew.
They want it to work on its own no matter what the world looks like.
Ah, so it can be more versatile.
Exactly.
That's clever. So then what happens? In the last phase, do they just put it all back together?
Not exactly. In the third phase, when the AI is actually making the game, they remove those LoRA weights they used for style adaptation.
Okay.
It's like taking off the training wheels.
So then it can just run wild.
Yeah, the action control module can generate gameplay in any scene you can imagine.
Wow. So it's a master of gameplay, adaptable to any visual style.
Pretty much.
That's really amazing. But is there like a limit to how long these games can be?
Oh, that's a good question because a lot of AI models for video, they struggle with making anything beyond like short clips.
Right.
But
Yeah.
these guys, they came up with a really cool solution.
Okay.
It's called autoregressive generation.
Autoregressive generation.
Yeah, it's like it can create unlimited length controllable game video.
Unlimited, but how? How is that even possible?
So they basically teach the AI to predict future frames based on what's already happened.
Okay.
Like it's constantly building on itself.
So it's always improvising.
Exactly. And because it's based on probability, it can create these random surprises.
So the game's never the same twice.
You got it. And it's not just about endless gameplay.
Oh,
This generalizable world model idea, it has a bunch of crazy implications beyond just gaming.
my mind is officially blown. We've gone from AI playing to designing to creating entire worlds.
It's wild, right?
It is wild. But, let's take a little breather here and come back in part 2 to really dig into all those implications.
Sounds good to me.
Maybe explore some really out there ideas.
Oh, I like where this is going.
I think you will. All right, welcome back to Talk Tensors. So last time we were talking about Game Factory, this AI that's not just playing games, but actually designing them.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
It is. It is. We talked about all those cool things it can do, like create those interactive worlds, deal with bias, even that style bleeding thing.
Right.
But it's not just about like fun and game.
Oh,
now.
definitely not. The potential of this goes way beyond just entertainment.
Okay, so you mentioned it has implications for like other AI research, right? Can you tell me more about that?
Absolutely. One area I'm really excited about is robotics.
Robotics. Okay.
Yeah, you know how we train robots now? It's all about like programming them with very specific instructions for every situation they might encounter.
Yeah, and it's really hard to account for everything, right?
It's almost impossible. The real world is just too complex.
Right.
But with Game Factory, we could create these super realistic simulated environments
Oh, I see.
where robots can learn and adapt, kind of like they would in the real world.
But without like, breaking stuff.
Exactly. And because Game Factory can generate all these crazy different scenarios,
Yeah.
it could help train robots to be way more adaptable.
So they can handle like unexpected stuff.
Exactly. Without needing to be programmed for every little thing.
That's a huge deal for robotics, right?
Huge. It's like a whole new paradigm for training.
Wow. And I feel like this idea of like a generalizable world model could even go beyond just robots.
Oh, absolutely. Think about self-driving cars.
Self-driving cars. Okay, yeah.
They're already a big thing, but they still have like a lot of challenges.
Yeah, especially with like unpredictable things happening on the road.
Exactly. And training them requires tons and tons of data.
And you can't exactly, just let them loose on the streets.
You don't want them learning by crashing into things.
Right.
But Game Factory could generate almost unlimited variations of road conditions, traffic, even like pedestrians.
Oh, wow.
So you could train these AIs in simulations that cover way more possibilities than real-world testing ever could.
And it's safer, right?
Way safer. And it could even lead to better traffic systems overall.
So less traffic jams, that's always a plus.
Everyone wins.
So we started with this like AI that can make video games. And now we're talking about robots and self-driving cars.
It's crazy how it all connects, right?
It is. It shows how like, one area of research can have these ripple effects across all these different fields.
And that's what's so cool about AI research. You never know where the next big thing is going to come from.
Speaking of exciting possibilities,
Yeah.
I think it's time for,
You know what time it is.
time for novel notions.
All right. Are you ready for another one?
Hit me with it.
Okay, so this one's a little out there, but what if we could use Game Factory to create personalized educational simulations?
Personalized, you mean like AI textbooks or something?
It's way more than that. Imagine every student has their own custom learning environment
Oh, wow.
that adapts to how they learn best, their pace, what they're good at, what they struggle with.
That would be incredible. Like having your own personal tutor, but like way cheaper.
Exactly. And it wouldn't just be about the content, it would be about making learning fun and engaging.
Okay, so how would that even work?
Imagine a history student who could like step into ancient Rome,
Oh, wow.
or a biology student exploring a cell in 3D.
So it's like turning learning into a video game.
Kind of, yeah. And because it's powered by AI, it could change and adapt based on how the student's doing.
So it's always like the perfect challenge level.
Exactly. This is a novel notion that could totally revolutionize education.
I love it. This is great. But we're not done with Game Factory yet, are we?
Not even close. There's still so much to explore. Join us next time as we finish up our deep dive.
Okay, can't wait. All right, welcome back to Talk Tensors. We are in the final stretch of our deep dive into Game Factory.
I know it's hard to believe we've already covered so much.
We have. We've talked about, AI designing games, training robots.
Even revolutionizing education.
Yeah, personalized simulations.
It's been a wild ride, hasn't it?
It has. It has. But, it feels like we've just scratched the surface of what this tech can do.
I agree. I think this is just the beginning for Game Factory and generative AI.
It's exciting, to be in at the forefront of this.
It really is. And that brings us
To the segment where we just let our imaginations go crazy.
novel notions time.
I'm ready. Hit me with your last mind-bending idea.
Okay, so what if we could use Game Factory to create an AI therapist?
An AI therapist. Okay, now you're really going for it.
I know. It's a bit out there.
But I like it. I like it. So are we talking about an AI that just listens to your problems and gives advice?
Way more than that. Imagine an AI that can create an actual therapeutic experience.
Like a personalized one.
Exactly. And it's interactive, tailored to your needs.
So instead of sitting on a couch talking to a therapist.
You'd be entering a virtual world
Ooh.
created by the AI.
So it's like a therapy video game.
Kinda, yeah. And the AI would be constantly analyzing your emotional state,
How would it do that?
your responses, even your subtle cues, and it would use all that to change the virtual world around you.
Wow. So it's like those choose your own adventure books, but
with much higher stakes.
and a super smart AI guiding everything.
Exactly. And it could adapt to different types of therapy.
Oh, interesting. So cognitive behavioral therapy or
Psychodynamic therapy, whatever you need.
wow. So could it create situations that help you face your fears or practice social skills?
Absolutely. Think of someone with social anxiety practicing conversations in a virtual cafe.
That's a really good idea.
Or someone with a phobia that could slowly face their fear in a safe virtual space.
It's like exposure therapy, but in a video game.
Exactly. And the AI could give you feedback and support the whole way,
This is incredible. And since it's AI, it could be available anytime.
making mental health care much more accessible.
Right, right. But I do wonder about the ethics of all this.
Yeah.
Would people really trust an AI with such personal stuff?
That's a great question, and it would be super important to make sure everything is private and secure.
Right, you don't want your fears getting hacked
And we'd need to make sure the AI isn't biased.
and have a human option just in case.
Absolutely. It's not just about the tech, it's about using it responsibly.
So this is a really big deal.
It is. It's forcing us to rethink what therapy could be.
And how AI fits into our lives.
Exactly.
Well, that was an amazing novel notion.
Thanks. I'm glad you liked it.
I'm a little scared, but mostly excited to see where this all goes.
Me too.
Well, that's it for our deep dive into Game Factory.
I can't believe it's over.
I know. We started with AI playing games, then designing games, and now it's change in the world.
We covered robotics, education, even therapy.
It's been a truly mind-blowing journey.
I hope everyone listening enjoyed it as much as we did.
And be sure to check out the link to the paper in the show notes.
And let us know your thoughts on this episode or any novel notions you might have.
Yeah, we love hearing from you guys. Until next time.
Keep those tensors talking.